Councilwoman Belcher, Councilman Pagan,
Here.
Councilwoman G,
Here.
Councilwoman Goldberg,
Here.
Councilman Katz, Deputy Mayor Belcher, Deputy Mayor Organ,
Here.
Mayor Schwartz. Adequate notice of this meeting has been provided by resolution number 300-2024, sending a copy to the newspapers officially designated for 2025 by way of resolution number 2-2025, filing a copy in the township clerk's office and posting on the municipal building bulletin board. And the mayor hereby directs that this statement be included in the minutes.
Tonight's meeting, March 20th, 8 p.m. open session budget meeting. Council Administration present at tonight's meeting is everyone. We have all our deputy, our department heads will hear from shortly. Jacqueline Hashman, our township manager, Doug Ruscio, our township clerk, Issa Abbasi, our chief financial officer, Christina Norchi, our deputy township clerk, Scott Solomon, township attorney on Zoom, I believe. Ron Goodwin, our volunteer cable master, and all our department heads. Upcoming events and council meetings. So the public's information, we are currently holding a hybrid format meeting. We have people in person and on Zoom. If our Wi-Fi at the municipal building has an issue where the Zoom meeting drops, we'll aim to retrieve the connection and continue the meeting. If you haven't yet signed up for our website alerts and township alerts, please do so. The Township Council will have regular budget meetings starting at 7 p.m. on Thursday, March 27th, April 3rd, and April 10th. The next televised regular council meeting is April 8th, which begins at 6:30 p.m., with a public portion beginning at 8 p.m. Our public access channels 47 and 77 and the website live streaming of meetings are temporarily down. Watch the upcoming township budget meetings on Zoom, Facebook, and YouTube, and the recording of tonight's meetings will be on the website sometime tomorrow. The council did not meet in closed session, and with that, we will start our meeting. Good and welfare. We'll open to good and welfare. Anybody in the audience would like to speak? No.
Good evening, Christina Markinson. I'm here again. You probably remember me from last year, so I won't give you a long speech. I would just like to remind you about the greenhouse conditions, which are getting worse. When it rains, there are several holes in the roof and we have big puddles on the floor. But now we have a bigger problem because one of the vents doesn't really work correctly anymore, and we are afraid to open it when it's windy because we think it might collapse. So if we can't open all the vents, the temperature increases to 100, 120, and we can't grow under those conditions. So please consider what's necessary for the township to get a well-functioning new greenhouse. Thank you very much.
Hi, good evening. My name is Anna Kurtz. I'm also going to speak on behalf of the Garden Club. I'll just say that whatever Christina said, I'd second it. Thank you.
That's former Councilman Sohn. Teaneck resident. In March, other people look forward to Pi Day, St. Patrick's Day, the start of spring. I look forward to the release of the annual financial statement. And I scroll right down to sheet 3A.1 and I look for fund balance. And the fund balance this year is 5.2 million. That's a drop of almost 3 million in 2 years and 1.7 million in the past year. We're losing money year after year, even after a 5% tax increase. This year could be twice as bad, with a hole of 5 million or more to be filled to meet the promise of 0% budgets. Will the answer be build, build, build? It would take 5 buildings each year, just like Alfred Avenue, to fill that budget hole. By next year, all of the Northeast would be covered with buildings, and just a year or two later, virtually all of Teaneck would need to be covered with buildings. We would need about 50 buildings with 20,000 new residents to fill the gaps needed for 0% year after year for the next decade. But over the past decade, only 4 new buildings have been built. There's nothing under construction now. And the site next to 329 Alfred Avenue appears to be seriously contaminated and looks like it won't be starting for quite a while. Build, build, build won't solve the problem. It will take budgeting, budgeting, budgeting. What changes should be made? How many police officers or firefighters should be eliminated? What services should be cut? I worked with a very wise colleague who had spent decades at IBM. And he said when hiring, he said, lots of people have been working for 10 years. Some of those people have 10 years of experience. And some of those people have 1 year of experience 10 times. For far too long, members of this council have been dumping off responsibility for the budget and haven't learned the fundamental details of how the budget works, draining money out of trust funds, piling up debt for old expenses, selling off assets, and playing budget games. It's time that this council takes full ownership of this budget. Form a budget task force. We have 40 years of experience in just 3 people, the mayor, deputy mayor for life, and deputy mayor 1, who can devote their time to crafting a budget. It's clear, Mr. Mayor, that you don't feel that there's anybody who could really be trusted to do things your way. This is your budget. You own it. Now it's your chance to learn the details and make the changes that are needed to this budget. For the next hour or two, the budget belongs to the manager. After that, it's all yours. Best of luck with this budget. I think you're going to need it, and I think every Teaneck resident is going to need that. I hope that we can see success with this budget this year. Thank you.
Jump in. Mr. Councilman Stone, if you, I believe most of your math is a little bit off. You're compounding 5 new buildings every year for 5 years. That is an additional $25 million. So I think you're missing the concept of compounding. As it relates to only 4 new buildings in the last decade, that's also quite off when you forget to factor in the hotels, forget to factor in 227 Teaneck Road, forget to factor in New Bridge and River Road, and probably a few others. As it relates to the 359 Alfred Avenue, we met with the owner at the ribbon cutting, which was a great event, and he hopes to be closing on the site in the next 1 or 2 weeks. He's already that's already been pushed off 2 or 3 times. He's ready to build, and he has his crews ready to build. And that permit, I think we did some math. We have about $1.2 million of incoming permit fees, we hope, in the next year or so between 359 Alfred, 100 State Street, and 140 State Street. If you'd like, if you want to send me that speech, I'll gladly review it with you on the compounding. But thank you very much, and absolutely, we look forward to working on this budget. Yeah.
And as far as the garden club goes, we can't find a building to fit the roof that we budgeted money for. And so we are looking into a full structure for you. But it's something that we're looking into, correct, manager?
Yes, we're retaining quotes now, so a prefab building should be in the near future. Good evening, Mayor and Council. I would like to start by welcoming our department heads, also known as my team and my work family. They have had my back since my first day as township manager and continue to assist me with all of our day-to-day challenges and accomplishments. I am proud to introduce them this evening to give them an opportunity to share a brief overview of their department staffing, progress, and any statistics they would like to share. I will start this evening with our soon-to-be retired tax assessor, James Ty. James Ty has dedicated 27 years of service to the township and has played an instrumental role in interviewing for his successor, Francois Dowder. They have already started working together in preparation for his retirement date of April 1st. So James, if you'd like to come up.
Thank you.
Let's give him a round of applause as well.
Hey, well, yes, this will be my last address to this body on this topic. And I won't be coming back to address on other topics, I can assure you. The tax assessor's department consists of the assessor and an assessing aide. There's staff of 2. We're responsible for the assessment of $8.4 billion worth of real estate in Teaneck. That's the current total assessment. Our ratio's gone down to 97% because of market conditions. Properties continue to rise in value. So our actual true value is probably closer to $8.7 million. We had a revaluation completed for 2024. We are, let me just get the statistics. We had approximately 300 tax appeals filed at the county board level in 2024. The reductions totaling $14 million. The original amount that was appealed was $265 million. So it's relatively small reduction compared to the amount that was under appeal. Most of those were just redressing inspections that we were unable to make. This year, the appeal deadline is rapidly approaching April 1st. I believe we're in pretty good shape at the County Tax Board. We have about 30 appeals filed currently. Appraisal Systems is on board to provide the defensive appeals. It's part of their contract from last year. Our new assessor has been working with me for most of this week. He'll be working next week. He's ready to jump into the job as soon as I'm done. I think he'll hit the ground running. He has help for the appeals. He's got a good handle on the new construction that's been completed. We're already entering added assessments. So I think the office will continue to be run well, and I think he will have a successful reign here. And regarding our budget, it's basically about the same as last year. It's fairly modest, given the amount of properties that we oversee. And I hope that it gets funded so that we can continue to provide service to the residents. Any questions? Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
James.
you.
Happy
I
retirement.
have to take a-
Yes. Have a nice evening. Next, we have our building department, our construction official, Mark Bacchino. You could please come up.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. All right, the building department is the local municipal enforcing agency which issues construction permits, conducts progress inspections, and issues certificates of occupancy in accordance with the State of New Jersey Uniform Construction Code. The building department administers the Township of Teaneck development regulations and provisions of the State of New Jersey Municipal Land Use Law. To accomplish this, we must collect fees. A portion of these fees for the enforcement of the Uniform Construction Code are required by state law to cover only the cost of enforcing the regulations. Our mission is to protect the health, safety, and welfare of all users of buildings and structures within the township, to provide and maintain a pleasing visual environment through the application and enforcement of the township's development regulations, to assist in the orderly development of the township by applying the rules and regulations established by the council, to assist the township council in providing a better community by suggesting the elimination of unnecessary or obsolete regulations, the alteration of regulations, to recognize new and innovative technologies, and to establish new regulations when necessary, to assist applicants in the process of obtaining the necessary approvals for use and development of properties within the township, to maintain and advance the quality of life of people living, working, and visiting the township of Teaneck. Some of the highlights from 2024 is we processed 695 zoning applications and issued 548 permits. We processed 2,248 construction applications and issued 2,242 permits and conducted 7,393 inspections. The average wait time for inspections was less than 3 days. We also fulfill an enormous amount of OPRA requests. I estimate that I spent approximately 500 hours last year. To help with that, I ask that the council thinks about passing a records clearance or resale certificate ordinance to be introduced and passed. During the year, we come across many properties where work has been done without permits, usually by the previous owner or by house flippers. And what results is when we find out about this, we have to issue violations, and the new owners are now burdened with having to make these repairs at a great expense. So I ask that you think about that. Thank you. Any questions? Yes.
Okay, speaking of the resale, I guess it would be an inspection. When you say that your recommendation is that the council considered a resale certificate of occupancy, which would mean upon the turnover of a property. As a building official, do you feel the onus of that should be borne by the seller versus the buyer?
Yes, by the seller. Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you for the under 3-day wait time for the permits. I'm sure you made a lot of people very, very happy.
Yeah, once in a while we run over, but on average, it's 3 days.
That records ordinance, is that something we can talk about in zoning subcommittee?
Good.
Thank you, Mark.
All right, thank you.
Next, we have our Finance Department CFO, Isa Abbasi, who has spent countless hours with me preparing the budget for this evening. Please come up.
Good evening, Mayor and Council, Madam Manager, Mr. Deputy Manager, Mr. Clerk, Madam Deputy Clerk. Isa Abbasi, Chief Financial Officer, also former Executive Assistant from April 2010 to June 2015. The Clerk from July 1 of 15 to April 30th of 19, CFO from May 1st to present. Amazing that next month I'll finish 15 years of the township. It went by in the blink of an eye. On staff is one Deputy CFO, Asisa Adewumi, one accountant, Bruni Quiles, senior payroll clerk, Carmelina Estevez, tax collector, Natalie Utino, deputy tax collector, Jessica Lewis. We have tax clerk, Roy Matthews, and our department is essentially responsible for effectively maintaining the financial administration of the municipality. We basically supervise the division of finance, which has the division of taxation in it. We also handle the division of payroll and tax collection. So essentially, we work on the budget. We oversee the budget, we collect taxes, we administer payroll, and we also, part of that is treasury management. So I know it's a little complex, but we also manage the cash in the bank, how bills get paid, when they get paid. We work in collaboration with the purchasing agent, with the manager, with every department essentially. So our goals for 2015, let's first look back at 2024, a year of a lot of change. Our main really task was the budget, working with the purchasing agent, the managers, because it was under Dean and also Jackie, on selling the cell tower successfully, thankfully, and working with council to bring the tax rate increase down to 4.99%. We thankfully also maintained our AA bond rating with Moody's when we issued 22 million in bond anticipation notes in November, along with 3,957,000 in special emergency notes. And we thankfully worked very well in onboarding the manager with all of our department heads. For 2025, we're looking to increase our revenues through proposed fee ordinance or fee schedule that should be forthcoming with all department heads, or select department heads rather. We look to basically also increase our fees with now the coming online of the municipal pool, community pool, and monitoring how that works out. Obviously, with council maintaining our current level of services while minimizing the tax increase on our residents, and adopting a bond ordinance much, much sooner. So this is something I've learned in prior towns I've worked in and work with in my current municipality. We already adopted our bond ordinance. What that gives us and can give us here is first crack at the apple with vendors, specifically for road resurfacing, where 3 years ago in the town I was in, we adopted our bond ordinance by March, and we had enough money left over to pay 5 more streets. So that's something that I really want to work with the manager and department heads and council on getting done. Any questions for now, or we can hold them? I'm here the whole evening with the manager and council. All right, next person up.
Thank you, Isa. Appreciate it. Next up, we have from our fire department, Fire Chief Joseph Berchtold, who's been here over 34 years of service with the township.
Good evening, Mayor, Council, Department Heads, residents watching. I'm your Fire Chief Joseph Berchtold. So 2024 started off as a very busy year for us. Multiple fires, some fatalities, unfortunately. Our staffing level. We're currently tabled at 93 as our TO. We started off the year and continued most of the year last year with being 4 short. In addition to that, we also lose members due to military leave. We had 2 on military leave for the entire year, 6 family leaves for multiple months, 1 or 2 additional personal sick leaves, which were multiple months, all impacting the day-to-day staffing level of the fire department and unfortunately flowing over into overtime. In addition, I have very little staff. I have an administrative assistant. I have an administrative chief. Chief handles all the equipment care, maintenance, apparatus repairs, purchasing buildings, 4 houses, 4 firehouses, injury, accident investigations. My Fire Prevention Bureau consists of 1 fire official, 2 fire inspectors, and I have 1 training deputy chief. As a reminder, I remind all residents that it's imperative that we continue to have working smoke detectors in your house and an escape plan, as you may have as little as 3 minutes to escape a fire. We're currently still ongoing with our smoke detector grant program, trying to get smoke detectors out to the residents that need that. In 2024, we conducted 1,542 fire prevention related inspections. 700 of those were fire suppression companies. 351 were our mandatory state required life hazard inspections required by a licensed inspector. We did 424 smoke detector and carbon monoxide inspections in homes and attended through the Fire Prevention Bureau about 46 different special events that the town hosted. I can't stress it enough that the Fire Prevention Bureau not only functions as our primary means of inspecting and insurance compliance with our buildings, but also remember they are uniformed firefighters who respond on calls, assist at calls, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days of the year. They're available at nights, weekends, they come back when needed, and greatly assist the department with our staffing. Again, I would remind everybody that the primary goal of the fire department is fire prevention, although we don't always get enough or have enough time to do that with our staffing and personnel. In 2024, we received 12 mutual aid calls, which is a slight increase. We also sent mutual aid out 44 times to our neighboring municipalities. This is going to increase due to lack of volunteers in your neighboring municipalities. We conducted 10,974 hours of training within the fire department. That's a 2,000-hour increase. Again, by sending our members out to additional train-the-trainer courses, we allowed the cost to the municipality to be reduced because it allows them to train our members not on overtime or sending them out. Fire calls for last year, we had about a 2,000 increase with a total of 5,991 calls of service, 129 fires, which is about average for the previous year. We did see a rise in our emergency service calls. We almost doubled that to 1,053 calls for emergency services. That is an increase, we believe, due to the aging population, the growth of the municipality, the lack of cost that our residents have, and repairs, and also coming out of COVID. In addition to that, we did 2,551 service calls, which are your gas, carbon monoxide calls, smells of gas. That was 1,000 increase from the previous year. And we doubled our EMS calls for service from 397 the previous year to 884, assisting the ambulance corps. Out of the 136 structure fires, 56 were basically small structure fires. Like I said, we had 2 major structure fires, numerous brush apparatus, vehicle fires. Again, the fire department prides themselves on protecting the residents as best we can and educating when at all possible. We continue with our service of the game wall box system. We have 353 game wall boxes through in the town, which adds a savings and cost to the municipality. As you know, we have 4 firehouses. They range in anywhere from 35 years old up to about 82 years of age, and are being maintained as best as the DPW budget, the fire department budget will allow. Some other highlights, we continue to work with our partners to assure grants. We did accept a regional grant between the departments of Hackensack, Englewood, and Hackensack for a $100,000 trailer that will allow us to do different types of roof ventilation, roof rescue operations, all within the municipality. Again, saving the taxpayers money and overtime because we will not have to go up to the fire academy to complete that type of training. We continue to replace our fleet of vehicles. We have an aging vehicle fleet. We have quite a few 1990 Crown Victorias that we're slowly trying to replace and move off out of service and replace them with new, more modern fleet. We were able to get a water rescue truck last year and put that in service. We were able to get a grant from the rescue plan grant, which will go to updating the firehouses with a gear storage system and a jacket that will allow them to not always have to be in their turnout coat, which will save the cost of the $3,000 turnout coat. That concludes my report. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Chief. Next, the clerk's office, Doug Roussillon. Please come up.
Good evening, council, manager, deputy manager, Issa, Miss Deputy Clerk, esteemed department heads. It's a pleasure to be with you all here again for another budget cycle. It's 2025. April's going to be 7 years I've been with the township. And time truly flies when you're having fun. So it also brings me great joy to constantly come here every year and be the department that is not a heavy budget for our municipality, thankfully. Similar to the finance office, we're a very administrative office that handles a lot of things in the township. And thankfully, that doesn't necessarily equate to a large operating budget. Our office here in the town hall consists of the A team, the three of us, which is myself, Doug Roussillon, as we said, Deputy Clerk Kristen DeNorcia, and of course our senior clerk, John McCallum. Without John and Kristen, our office would likely cease to operate. So we need to thank them as well. The clerk's office is a conduit for many different things here in the township, all different kinds of licensing and permits. We also help facilitate land auctions. Of course, one of our favorite things that we're all familiar with is Oprah requests. Those come through our office as well. It is the responsibility of the township clerk's office to be the keeper of the code. Every year, we have been working on a constant recodification of our code to keep our code book virtually and hard copy up to date. A number of years ago, some members on this council might remember that it was a hefty expense to do that big recodification. And thankfully, since we did that, as long as the township stays on top of it every year, that expense is rather minimal. Two other things that I just want to bring council's attention to as you do look at the clerk's budget is two things that are kind of expensive when it comes to our operating budget, and that's our elections line item. We still have, I think, quite a bit of money in there for operating expenses in regards to the election. Expenses that come from Bergen County are passed on to the municipal clerk's office and all of the towns throughout the county. So we do need to have money aside for that. And also, as you all are aware, we have coined and pioneered the poll worker meet and greet here in Teaneck, which does have a minimal expense to it also. And what it is really a space that we invite all of our poll workers. Teaneck has more than 100 poll workers. We invite all of them to come to actually here in council chambers before an election to just kind of get on the same page with each other, meet your fellow poll workers that are going to be with you on election day, and that has been a huge hit. Also, we have been able to develop a relationship with our Board of Education in involving many of our young students from Teaneck High School in our elections, working the polls, which is great because the township does not pay poll workers. It actually comes from Bergen County. So that's a great example of something that we've been able to do that actually doesn't equate to an operating expense. So aside from elections being one of the heavy bits of our budget, the other thing that we always need to pay attention to is our legal ads. By law, we have to publish various kinds of advertisements in the official newspapers of the municipality. We have 3 different official newspapers in the municipality, and each of them are very expensive to place an ad in their respective publication. However, you will realize as well, as we mentioned, that it is a state requirement that we have these official newspapers. It's a state requirement that we publish in these newspapers. So they kind of will get our money no matter what, and the price just kind of keeps increasing. So as time goes on, I think really where council will see the most fluctuations in our budget is in the elections line item and the legal advertisements. And with that, that's the clerk's office.
Thank you, Doug. Next, I'd like to invite up our new health officer, Michael Meyer. He has been here a few weeks, comes from us from Paramus, and he's doing a great job with our health department. If you'd like to come up, Michael.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. My name is Michael Meyer, and it's an honor to stand before you this evening as Health Officer for the Township of Teaneck. Although I've only been in this role for about 2 months now, it's already abundantly clear to me that Teaneck residents take great pride in their community and are deeply invested in its well-being. I'm also sincerely grateful to lead a dedicated and hardworking team of public health professionals who demonstrate their unwavering commitment and passion for improving the lives of those we serve. As health officer, my foremost responsibility is to promote and enhance the health and safety of all Teaneck residents. I oversee a full spectrum of public health activities, ensuring compliance with state and federal regulations, while spearheading initiatives that directly benefit the health of our community. Our environmental health division plays a vital role in this mission. The division is staffed by 1 full-time chief registered environmental health specialist and 3 full-time registered environmental health specialists. This team is instrumental in conducting essential services, including inspections of retail food establishments, investigating complaints, ensuring compliance with Teaneck's property maintenance code, performing lead inspections in rental housing units, and inspecting each and every rental housing unit in the township upon change of tenancy. Our vital statistics and clerical division consists of 3 full-time employees who are responsible for issuing vital records such as birth and death certificates and marriage licenses. In addition, they ensure the smooth operation of the health department by assisting residents both at the counter and on the phone, while also processing a wide range of licenses and applications, including those for pets, food establishments, and rental property health certificates. Additionally, we have a full-time social worker on our team who provides support to individuals and families by assessing their needs, connecting them to necessary services, and offering counseling and advocacy. For public health nursing and health education services, we contract with Holy Name Medical Center. The nursing staff investigates communicable disease cases, provides guidance during disease outbreaks, conducts childhood lead case investigations, and performs immunization audits for both public and private daycares and schools in Teaneck. Furthermore, through our partnership, the health department is able to offer monthly child health clinics as part of our Vaccines for Children program. These clinics provide free vaccines, physical examinations, and lead testing to uninsured children in our community. In support of these initiatives, the health department is currently utilizing grant funding from 2 key sources: the Strengthening Local Public Health Capacity Grant and the Sustaining Local Public Health Infrastructure Grant. Together, these grants provide over $265,000 in funding, which helps offset staff salaries, cover the cost of our nursing services contract with Holy Name Medical Center, and supports training opportunities for our staff to enhance their skills and competencies. I'm also pleased to announce that just this past week, we applied for and were awarded an additional $25,000 in funding to further strengthen the health department's ability to address health equity priorities and drive progress within our community. Looking ahead, I remain deeply committed to working closely with community stakeholders to better understand the challenges our residents face. By building and strengthening these partnerships, we will continue to create sustainable programs and services that promote the optimal health and well-being of our residents. Thank you very much for your time tonight. Any questions? Thank you very much.
Thank you, Michael. Next, we have our library director, Shanae Hun. If you'd like to come up, she has been overseeing a very large renovation in our library. And also the staffing and our staffing is relocated to Bergenfield and New Milford. Go ahead, Shanae.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Shanae Han. I'm a library director. I am working with 9 members of the Teaneck Library Board of Trustees. Library is a very vibrant space, especially in Teaneck, where people learn, create, and stay connected. With over 200,000 items in both printing and digital formats, we're proud to offer our Teaneck residents access to more than 5 million items through Buckle's system. In 2024, we circulated over 300,000 items, and our patrons borrowed over 140,000 items from other libraries in Buckles. The demand for digital collection grew by 24%. We purchased over 8,000 ebooks and e-audiobooks to meet this growing demand. We offer a variety of programs to support lifelong learning, including the Friends Friday lecture programs, ESL classes, resume assistance, and technology training. Tuesday Tips program provides valuable information on topics like Medicare, healthy living, and finances. Our arts and craft programs for adults are especially popular. The registration has become very competitive. For our younger residents, we offer playtime, story time, after-school activities, and STEM activities. Our Teen Advisory Board offers leadership opportunities and volunteer hours for our teens. Our calendar is filled with programs such as writing workshop, book clubs, cooking classes, hiking, Sunday concerts, kids music programs, and coding workshops, and the list goes on. The library also celebrates Teaneck's diversity through our cultural programs, bringing our communities together. Our annual summer reading program engages hundreds of residents. Last summer, over 600 participants read more than 3,000 books. We also collaborate with local organizations like Farmers Market and Age-Friendly Teaneck, and we visit our senior housing facilities to deliver books and tech support. Since the library has been closed since September, our staff has been working at 5 different locations in our neighboring towns. At our temporary location, New Milford Public Library, staff continue to provide in-person assistance to our residents. And part of Buckle's system, our residents can also use any library in Bergen County system. The library staffed currently by 15 full-time and 18 part-time employees, all working very hard to meet the evolving needs of our community. We couldn't do this without the generous support of the township. The Teaneck Library Board of Trustees is truly grateful for the council's dedication to supporting the library's mission. Thank you.
Thank you, Shanae. Anyone have any questions? Thank you. I'd now like to call up our court administrator, Craig Ferdinand, who's been with us since 2017.
Thank you, Jacqueline. Good evening, everybody. Actually, this week, I begin my 9th year here. So like Jacqueline said, I'm Craig Ferdinand, the municipal court administrator for the township. The mission of the municipal courts in New Jersey is to achieve justice while remaining neutral and independent of the executive and legislative branches of government. Judicial independence is crucial in ensuring confidence in the legal system by the litigants we serve, and our office continues to strive daily to achieve that mission. The Teaneck Municipal Court continues to have jurisdiction over all traffic, criminal, and local offenses that are filed within the boundaries of the township. Most of our cases that we process are, of course, issued by the Teaneck Police Department. However, we also handle matters filed by the New Jersey State Police, the New Jersey Office of Weights and Measures, and Fish and Game violations. All offenses begin with the municipal court. However, offenses of an indictable nature are processed by our office and transferred to the Bergen County prosecutor. These matters are either presented to a grand jury or downgraded back to this court. We also hear matters transferred to us on changes of venue from other municipalities. The court processes numerous citizen complaints, conducting probable cause hearing before our judges, where it is determined if those matters will issue. The court also refers minor neighborhood disputes to mediation when applicable. The court is staffed with our 2 municipal court judges, Giuseppe Randazzo and Erica Youngblood, myself, the court administrator, the deputy court administrator, Anne Marie Gallagher, and the rest of our staff consists of 4 full-time keyboarding clerks. So in 2024, the court staff processed 15,596 cases, including parking, moving, and DWI cases, criminal matters, and township ordinance violations. When comparing those numbers to 2023, filings increased approximately 7.4%. Total revenue collected in 2024 totaled over $929,500, of which $546,523 was turned over to the township. Comparing that revenue to 2023, revenue in 2024 increased by just over 20%. In 2025, court filings compared to this point of last year increased 48.2%. And comparing the revenue, the total revenue increased 74.5% compared to this point last year, and actually 90% higher to the township compared to this point last year. So there are a couple of reasons for that. There was a huge influx of snow emergency tickets this year, and that increased the revenue. Additionally, in the final quarter of last year, the state did 2 things, or the administrative office of the courts did 2 things. One, they turned back on delinquent time payment notices, which facilitated us sending a huge amount of delinquent notices to defendants that have been held back for over 5 years. And in addition to that, the state is allowing for the suspension of driving privileges and registrations as it relates to unpaid parking tickets, which, as you may imagine, over the course of 4.5 years were thousands of tickets. So those actions, which continue to this day, continue to increase our revenue quite substantially. So finally, the court does continue to conduct 4 sessions each week. Those sessions continue to be mostly virtual. We do 4 sessions in person about 4 times a month, typically to conduct trials, but there's a lot of people who want to see the judge at this point too. So that's really all that I have, unless there are any questions.
We have 3 judges. The reason why you said 2 or?
Oh, well, we have one. Yes, I'm sorry, Judge Dombeck, our temporary judge that we appoint on a yearly basis. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Craig. Next, our police chief, Chief Andrew McGurr, who's been with us over 31 years and chief since 2023. Welcome.
Thank you. Good evening, Mr. Mayor, Council, Manager, Deputy Manager, department heads, and members of the public. As the manager stated, I'm in my 3rd year as the Chief of Police with the Teaneck Police Department. The mission of the Teaneck Police Department is to safeguard the lives and property of the people we serve, to reduce the incidence and fear of crime, and to enhance public safety while working with diverse communities to improve their quality of life. Our members are committed to the highest ethical standards and to providing public service with honor, integrity, and respect. Our department is accredited with the New Jersey State Association of Chiefs of Police and has an authorized strength of 97 sworn officers. Presently, we have 94 officers, along with 16 civilian support staff, 2 parking enforcement officers, 8 auxiliary police volunteers, and 1 police chaplain. The Teaneck Police Department also continues to be the primary public safety answering point for the Township of Teaneck since we completed a full renovation of our dispatch center in October of 2022. In 2024, our department received 54,918 calls for service, and we ended up filing 8,595 reports. In 2024, our department dealt with numerous demonstrations, maintaining peace and ensuring the safety of those involved and affected. I'm very proud of the men and women of the Teaneck Police Department, the job that they do, and the level of professionalism they consistently display. Keeping our department up to date with technology, training, and resources is a top priority for our current administration. This past year, we obtained $39,000 through a pop-up party grant that was used to purchase barricades, helmets, shields, and batons. We purchased and installed license plate readers throughout the town. We also purchased new updated tasers. We restructured our patrol staffing this year to accommodate a power squad. We remediated and replaced acoustic panels and ceiling tiles in our gun range. We replaced defective HVAC units that were in our dispatch and watch office areas. We also began working with the New Jersey Arrive Together program to improve the manner in which our officers respond to members of the community experiencing mental health and behavioral emergencies. This year, work will be done to update our roll call room. We'll be switching out all of our outdated department handguns with new 9mm models. Within the next month or 2, we'll be instituting our new drone program. We're also working with an outside vendor in the spring to create a promotional video to assist in our recruiting efforts. We're also in the process of trying to switch from our current analog radio system to a digital system to improve the clarity, reliability, and interoperability of our communications. This year, we'll be also undergoing the process of reaccreditation, which takes place every 3 years. Our department has also become focused on ways of improving pedestrian safety, to include some reflective sashes that we received recently and we're distributing to the public, and orange flags that we're placing at certain intersections around town for people to carry across the roadway. We at the Teaneck Police Department are dedicated to providing the best police services possible for the township. We will always look for innovative ways to provide our services, and we will continue to work with the community to better understand their needs. The budget for the police department was crafted over several months and considers the needs of the department, the level of service that our residents expect, and the impact it has on the overall budget of the township. Thank you for your time, and if anybody has any questions. Yes, that is correct. We have 3 intersections up and running right now. Fourth one is just waiting to get powered up. And we already identified a vehicle from a distraction burglary last week as a result of the license plate readers in place. Anything else? Thank you.
Thanks, Chief. Next, I would like to call up our DPW Director, Trevon Romeo.
Good night, everyone. I'm Teaneck Romeo, Public Works Director. I've been employed with the township for 22 years now. We started as a mechanic, a sewer supervisor, assistant superintendent of public works, and today, Public Works Director. This year's DPW budget reflects the collective commitment of the township manager and myself to ensure that the township infrastructure remains strong, resilient, and capable of meeting the growing demands of our township. My department is responsible for some of the most vital services that impact the quality of life of our residents, from maintaining our roads, ensuring proper flow of sewers from our homes, and maintaining and managing leaf collection, snow removal, and recycling operation. The public works plays a critical role in shaping our township present and future. In preparing this budget, we are focused on two priorities, efficiency and sustainability. I recognize the importance of maximizing the impact of every dollar. By streamlining operation, I am committed to delivering high quality service in the most effective and cost-effective manner possible. Key highlights of this budget: the town improvement and maintenance, upgrades to our new acquired swim club, our aging municipal building, our engineering office, and our police headquarters, fire stations, and recreational buildings. We also had emphasis on sewer and sanitary storm upgrades. Like I said, we are fully aware of the financial constraints and economic challenges that the town faces. That's why my department remains committed to fiscal responsibility, and our goal is only to maintain the township infrastructure, but to enhance the improving and the quality of life for our residents. I want to extend my gratitude to our hardworking township manager for her valuable insight in shaping this budget. Your invaluable contribution to structuring this budget and and working with our department, together we'll build a stronger, more resilient town for generations to come. Thank you.
You've discussed fiscal importance and responsibility. One question, are you prepared to lifeguard this summer?
Sure.
Make sure. So you can practice the whistle back forth. I can show you how. Thank you. Thank you for your help. Trying to open up the pool. I appreciate it. We all appreciate it.
Thank you.
Mayor, I will say, I do commend Trevon, and I know a lot of department heads that have been involved in opening our Teaneck community pool. But I have been meeting with Trevon probably every day. I have named him 24/7 because I literally call on him 24/7 to help out with everything, and he always answers. And I know that is exactly what Dean said. You do get it done. So I know all of our departments are very grateful for you and your team in getting it done and being as efficient and as cost effective to get this done for us. So I thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Next, I would like to call up our township engineer, Farah Galani, who has helped me with many projects, keeping me on task and making sure that we collect as much grant funding as possible. So welcome, Farah.
Thank you. Thank you, Jackie. Good evening, everyone. I'm Farah Galani, Township Engineer, and I'm also current president of New Jersey Society of Municipal Engineer. I have been serving the town as a township engineer over a decade. Our department plays a crucial role in maintaining and improving Teaneck infrastructure, ensuring the safety, functionality, and sustainability of our community. Tonight, I will provide an overview of our responsibilities, key projects completed this past year, and what's ahead. So some of the key responsibilities include overseeing township infrastructure system, including roadways, stormwater management, sanitary sewer, traffic signal, parks, and public building. We develop and implement capital improvement program, ensuring the taxpayer dollars are used efficiently and to maintain and enhance our township. We also review residential and commercial development plans to ensure compliance with township regulations and prevent adverse impact on neighboring properties and public right-of-way. In addition, my department actively pursue grant opportunities from federal, state, county agencies to fund key municipal projects, reducing the financial burden on our local taxpayer. Last year alone, we secured funding from NJDOT, NJDEP, EPA, and Bergen County for various projects. Last year, we secured over $2 million in various grants. We also manage township permit, including road opening, crane operation, right-of-way, access curb, curb and sidewalk improvement, ensuring all construction activities adhere to township standards. My department consists of myself and two secretaries, which I share with DPW. So let's look at what we achieved in 2024. Roadway resurfacing, we paved almost 2 miles of roadway in various roadway improvement projects, including total reconstruction and drainage improvement of Hemlock Terrace, which was a gravel roadway. ADA compliance upgrade, we install ADA compliant ramps along Cedar Lane in preparation for full length roadway paving. Park and recreation enhancement, Voti Park Tennis Court received new lights. The splash pad at Voti Park was upgraded with shade structure and a shelter. Completed design and start construction of Herrick Park improvement. These projects reflect our commitment to enhancing mobility, accessibility, and quality of life for Teaneck residents. Looking ahead to 2025, for coming year, our focus remains on infrastructure improvement and community development. Planned projects include 2024 roadway resurfacing program, continuing our work to improve local streets, Palisade Avenue improvement with additional funding of $250K in NJDOT funding. We will continue upgrade this key roadway. 5-lane reconstruction, $550K NJDOT local aid grant will support critical improvement. ADA ramp installation, Teaneck Road will receive ADA compliant ramp for Cedar Lane to DeGraw, aligning with Bergen County repaving effort. Park recreation upgrade, completion of Voti Park North Restroom, complete construction of Herrick Park improvement, partially funded by NJDP Greenacre grants, construction of new pickleball court at Andreas Park and a tennis court at Argonne Park, drainage improvement along along Bell Avenue, which include rain gardens and detention system on Bell Avenue funded by NJDP and EPA grants. These projects demonstrate our continued investment in safer, greener, and more accessible public space. The engineering department remained dedicated to improving Teaneck infrastructure through the strategic planning, efficient execution, and responsible funding. I want to thank Mayor and Council and Township Administrator, and also department, all other departments for their continued support. And I also like to acknowledge my team for this hard work in delivering these projects efficiently. Thank you so much. Any questions?
Thank you, Farah.
Thank you.
Next, I'd like to call up Simona Cassian-Serbo, our purchasing agent. It's also her birthday today, so she's here celebrating her birthday. Well, happy birthday, Simona.
Yep. Good evening, Mayor and Council. Yeah, the cat is out of the bag. So, as you all know, my name is Simona Cassian-Serbo. I've been with the Township of Teaneck for 14 years as the purchasing agent for the last 8. The department is consists of a staff of 2 people, myself and my purchasing assistant, Altagracia Germosen, who has been with the township for almost 3 years. And we are responsible for the procurement of all the departments that are here tonight, all 12 of them. Our budget for the purchasing department and the central supply consists of less than 0.5% of the total budget of the township. We are responsible for the procurement of all township equipment, supplies, and services. We support the finance department in monitoring the budget and departmental spending, and we also fulfill the function of accounts payable. Purchasing department ensures that all townships purchases and contracts comply with the requirements of the local public's contract law. We oversee and assist the development of bid specifications and RFPs and oversee all public bid openings. The township is a member of various state, county, and national co-ops, and the purchasing department ensures that all purchases made based on this contract follow the procedures as stated in each individual contract to be used, and they ensure compliance with the rules of the local public's contract law. The department is also responsible to ensure compliance with state affirmative action contract regulations, New Jersey state regulations pertaining to New Jersey business registration certifications, New Jersey pay-to-play laws, and all state and federal laws concerning procurement, ethical standards, and public contracts. The purchasing agent is the designated public agency compliance officer for the township, and as part of the duties, I oversee compliance with the New Jersey prevailing wage requirements in all public works contracts awarded by the township. We prepare resolutions for the council agenda and make recommendation of awards as the case may be. In 2024, the purchasing department issued purchase orders totaling over $7 million. We processed payments over $7.5 million. That's because we had some payments that from 2023, we issued purchase orders and the payments were issued in 2024. And we held 25 public bid openings. Thank you.
Thank you, Simona. Next, I'd like to call up Sean Powers. He is our acting superintendent of recreation.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. I have been with the Recreation Department going on 23 years, 18 as a recreation supervisor, 4 as assistant superintendent, and just recently taking on the acting role of superintendent and trying to fill the very big shoes of Glenna Crockett, whom you know just retired after 46 years of service. The Recreation Department is located in the award-winning Richard Rhoda Community Center. The facility is open 7 days a week and is over 51,000 square feet. It is made up of 3 core divisions: administrative, youth, and senior, each serving a crucial role in providing a wide array of programs, events, and services to our residents. The department provides positive year-round leisure time activities and quality recreation programming for residents with a goal of enhancing quality of life and providing services, all while providing excellent customer service to the very diverse community of Teaneck. Behind the scenes, we have a dedicated team of 12 full-time staff and about 190 part-time and seasonal employees working to make all of this happen. We offer a diverse selection of classes and activities that cater to all ages, from toddlers as young as 18 months to our active seniors over 90 years old. Whether it's educational classes, fitness programs, or arts workshops, we offer something for everyone. These programs are held at the Rhoda Center in our beautiful parks and at off-site facilities, all for nominal fees or even free of charge. We are all about making recreation accessible and enjoyable for our entire community. In addition to our classes, we run several state licensed programs that serve our youth. This includes our full-day Sunshine Garden Learning Center, an after-school program that reaches its capacity year after year, and 2 amazing summer camps that provide children with a fun and enriching experience. These programs are critical for families and young learners in Teaneck. The administrative division plays an important role in enhancing year-round recreation. We offer open gym basketball and soccer for adults, and open gym basketball for children in grades 5 through 12 throughout the year. This gives residents a chance to stay active and engaged. The division also sponsors field trips in partnership with the Teaneck High School Forum, taking groups to exciting destinations like the Brooklyn Nets games, Six Flags Great Adventure, and theater performances. These trips are a fun and enriching way to bring the community together. Our outdoor parks and facilities are another vital aspect of what we do. We manage 13 developed parks, offering permits for tennis and basketball courts, ball fields, picnic areas, soccer fields, and our award-winning sportsplex. Indoors, we schedule the use of the Rhoda Center for local organizations and township groups, and this center serves as one of the 9 county sites for early voting. We're also especially excited to announce that we're now taking over the Teaneck Swim Club and transforming it into the Teaneck Community Pool, expanding water recreation opportunities for our community. In addition, we operate several sprinklers in various parks and our splash pad in Votee Park. The Teaneck Senior Center, also on site at the Rhoda Center, is the largest senior center in Bergen County, serving 650 plus participants weekly. Over 50 fitness, educational, and social recreation classes are offered seasonally, along with a host of special presentations and field trips. Through this division, we also offer a congregate meal program through the county Monday through Friday, where participants can have a well-balanced meal and socialize with fellow participants. For our senior and disabled residents, we offer free transportation services 5 days a week, helping with medical appointments, grocery shopping, and other errands. With 2 to 3 vans on the road daily, depending on demand, we ensure that our residents stay connected and are able to access the services they need. In 2024, we completed over 6,000 one-way and round-trip rides. We sponsor some of the most anticipated town-wide special events in Teaneck, such as the 4th of July celebration, movies in the park, the summer band concert series, Teaneck Day, and the holiday tree lighting on the municipal green. These events create a sense of community, bring people together, and provide fun and engaging activities for all. The Recreation Department is truly a hub of activity and support for our entire town, and we look forward to continuing to provide these vital services and programs that enrich the lives of Teaneck residents from our youngest to our oldest. Thank you.
Thank you, Sean. And I'd like to thank him also for taking on the role of running our recreation department, especially when we're taking on such a big task of the Teaneck Community Pool. He's been a great team player, and everything's been running smoothly. So thank you, Sean. I'd also like to recognize Andrew Fisher, who's here tonight. He does work under the direction of the deputy manager and myself. And I'd just like to recognize him just because he does operate almost as if he's a department head and has done some very important jobs since I've started here. So I didn't bring him up, and he probably doesn't know I was going to recognize him, but I'd like to recognize that he has taken care of a lot of our Wi-Fi. He has changed over our email to Outlook. Some of us like it more than others. That was something I did want when I came on here. So I know there's mixed reviews, but it was a tall task. He has also got our website up and running, worked many hours on that, our new phone system, cybersecurity, camera installs. I know all of our department heads have relied on Andrew for our emergencies with our computers. So I did want to recognize him because as much as he does fall under our direction, he does operate on his own and has taken care of a lot of responsibilities. So thank you, Andrew, for being here tonight and for taking on those responsibilities. Lastly, I could not end without mentioning my deputy manager, Anthony Verley, who has been a tremendous help to me these last few months. Anything that needs attention, or he has used his many years of institutional knowledge to help us in the township. He has been a true asset to my leadership efforts. So thank you, Anthony, for all that you've done for me. All of these department heads are dedicated, professional, and work really hard to see that my visions become reality and that our residents receive the best service. They have been so forthcoming with their experience to ensure we make the best budgetary and logistical decisions. Thank you for all you do and for being team players with me. I really appreciate it. Council, do you have any other questions? No, not this evening. Illegal?
Wait, I just wanted to say congratulations to Andrew. I graduated high school with him, so congratulations.
Okay, I actually had something to say. I'm sure tonight is not the most fun night for all of you, especially for Simona, but this is my favorite meeting of the year every year, and not just because people aren't yelling at us. I do love to hear each one of you present and for the public to hear how much exactly you do. When you bring up numbers, it sounds like, I don't know if you've been on a cruise at the end when they tell you how many pounds of meat everybody's eaten and how many eggs and desserts, and it just, there's so much work that goes into this that it's really nice for people to hear the figures. When we had people from the swim club come up and approach us about working on it, for us, it was kind of easy. We worked with them. We made sure that financially it worked out. But then we had a meeting in February with the manager and the deputy manager. And almost everybody in this room is either involved in this one project that only kicked off at the beginning of February or will be involved at some point. Maybe, hopefully not Craig or Shanae. But the clerk was sitting in the meeting and the CFO was sitting in the meeting. When we met down at the pool site, police were there and fire were there. Hopefully your input will be minimal also. Andrew, MIS, is working on it very, very hard. And Rec, thank you so much, Sean, and Trayvon, what's fallen on your shoulders. Thank you for picking all of it up without complaining. And as the years go by and we open up the snack bar, health will be involved. And if we want to fix tennis courts or make pickleball courts there, engineering will be there, building will be there, and for sure purchasing will be there. So each and every one of you are involved in every project we work on, but I don't think anything shows this to the public like this past month did. So we don't run the town, you run the town. Thank you so much for being such a great support to the manager. We're grateful to have her on board also. Thank you for being such a great team for us.
Just want to say thank you for your presentations. They're very insightful, very informative, and just kind of gives us and also, most importantly, our residents a really good indication and idea as to what goes into the making of our town, the management of our town, the running of our town. And each one of you represents, so many people and so many initiatives that we're all as council leaders are very proud of. It's a sense of newness in town because of the swim club and all the things that have come about for the Teaneck community pool. We're super excited about, and also in terms of the renovation of the library. That's that anticipation that's in the air of it's opening soon. When is it opening, and so forth. So I just want to, personally thank each and every one of you for your presentation and for the efforts that you put forth. I know it's not an easy job. We're a growing, dynamic, interesting town, and we appreciate each and every one of you and what you do for our township. Thank you.
Yes. Yes, if you would, you are dismissed if you'd like to leave now. You're more than welcome to stay for my budget presentation, but you're also free to to leave for the evening. Thank you again for everything.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much. Okay, I would now like to start by mentioning that this was a very challenging budget process that Issa and I have gone through. We've spent many hours compiling the budget and looking for a magic wand to create a single-digit municipal budget tax increase. Many important and responsible decisions need to take place in order to present this here tonight. With that being said, Doug, I'm going to get started. Our first slide here is just a combination of items to outline our budget preparation process. First, in September of 2024, department heads are asked to present their requests for Issa and I to review. In October of 2024, Issa and I sat down to review all of their requests in detail. We held department head public hearings November 4th through the 6th. And then public input was also available at our council meeting of February 11th and February 25th. I, along with the CFO and the auditor, did a budget review in March of 2025. We spent several meetings reviewing the budget. Our annual debt statement due January 31st. Then our annual financial statement was due March 7th. The manager's budget to the council was due on the revised statutory date of February 27th or the next regularly scheduled meeting. The council review and public hearings are scheduled for March 27th, April 3rd, and April 10th. Council introduction of budget by revised statutory date of March 31st or the next meeting would be April 8th, which is our next council meeting. Hearing and adoption of the budget is by the revised statutory date of April 30th or next meeting being May 6th. Assumptions, 2025 budget is dependent upon the following: council's determination of 2025 municipal budget appropriations, our fund balance or surplus available for 2025, the 2024 municipal revenues analysis and 2025 revenue anticipations, state aid allocations for 2025, and special emergency financing for terminal leave. Next slide. Appropriations versus revenues versus rate. This is an informational slide. Appropriations is what the municipality intends to spend on any operational costs. Revenues is what the municipality earns through various fees and the collection of taxes. The rate is the amount of taxes to be raised, the net property valuation. Simply stated, the tax rate is a percentage of your property value that you're taxed on. Next slide. This slide is our 2024 tax breakdown. Total property taxes is $184,180,206.44. The proposed budget refers to the municipal portion of taxes only. Board of Education and county taxes separate from municipal portion. All taxes are paid to and collected by the municipality's tax collection office. The taxes are forwarded to all taxing entities biweekly or quarterly. And as you can see on the pie chart, everything is broken down in percentage. Our total school levy being 55.4%, our municipal levy being 32.4%, the library 1.4%, county levy 9.9%, county open space levy 0.4%, and the municipal open space at 0.5%. Doug, next slide. Known impacts of the 2025 budget: reduction of general revenues, increase in contractual obligations to employees, increased operating and other expenditures budgets, increase in utilities, BCUA, telephone and electric, increase in our library minimum tax computed via our state formula. Next slide. Some other known impacts here, our net increase of $2,658,337.30 in expenses beyond the township's control. You have here our salary and wages, increase of 1.8%. Other expenditures is up 5.3%. Our capital improvement fund up 67.8%. Debt service is up 9.1%. Our reserve for uncollected taxes up 17.2%. And BCUA is also up 10.76%. I will make a note that our salary and wages line is subsidized by $600,000 in grant funds used to reduce the total increase in the 2025 budget. Next slide. We also have a list here of one-time revenues totaling $3,885,000 that will not be available for our 2026 budget. These include the grant funds to offset our salaries at $600,000, the cell tower sale proceeds of $1.5 million, surplus funds from cancellations from 2024 at $1.5 million, our capital surplus $100,000, and our reserve for payment of debt at $185,000. Next slide. Our proposed 2025 municipal budget proposed tax rate increase is 9.97%. The average home is assessed at $627,549.59. Increase in taxes per year, $462.21, and per month is $38.52. The tax levy is equal to the budget appropriations minus revenues. Appropriations cap issue in 2025 if the cap ordinance is not adopted. No foreseen tax levy cap issue. And the budget will be reviewed by the auditor. Next slide. This slide is an informational slide with outlining the appropriations cap versus the levy cap. Doug, you can go to the next slide. 2025 Local Finance Board action. They issued a notice 2024-21R on March 13th, 2025 that allowed for the following appropriation increases in excess of 3.5% for 2025 budget. This is a list of the items. We have not used any exceptions in 2023 or 2024. Next slide. Importance of appropriations cap banking. This is another informational slide. The cap bank ordinance has two purposes: allows the township to budget up to the permitted amount if needed, and allows the township to carry over unused amounts from the last two prior years. Adopting the cap bank ordinance does not add funds to the budget, and the budget can always be reduced by council prior to budget adoption, regardless of the cap bank ordinance. If not adopted, the township may be required to reduce services in the current year or a future year based on the cap calculation. Passing the cap bank ordinance provides the township with budgeting options in the current year and in future years. The cap bank ordinance needs to be introduced at budget introduction. How we arrived at the 9.97% tax rate increase. Our original increase was at 15.25%, in line with the 2024 forecasted amount of 15%. Increased costs beyond our control is $2,295,269. Reduction in one-time revenues from 2024 is $1,712,000. These include the cell tower at $500,000, ARP funds at $950,000, and liquidation of reserves at $262,000. Use of non-recurring revenues for 2025 total $3,885,000. Next slide. We will cancel 2024 appropriation reserves to increase surplus by $1.5 million via resolution on April 8th. Surplus is built in two ways: not spending complete appropriations and realizing higher revenues than anticipated. We will utilize special emergency financing for terminal leave in 2025. In addition, reduced capital budget went from 16.5 million to 12,740,000. This includes 1.4 million in grant funds for projects that we've already received grant funding. We utilized $600,000 in grant funds to offset salary and wages budget, the Najacho grant, recycling tonnage, and clean communities. Statewide reduction in additional state aid from 2024, equaling $352,479.27 for Teaneck. Future impact on the 2026 budget: terminal leave may need to be budgeted for in 2026. Added special emergencies, terminal leave 2025 estimated over 250,000. State of economy, cost of goods and services are always going up. Increased capital budget to fund projects, increased hires, assuming retirements in our police and fire departments. Next slide. The more future impacts on our 2026 budget include the Teaneck Community Pool expenditures, 2026 health benefit premiums, 2026 pension contributions, potential increase in BCUA annual sewer bill, contractual increases, and reduction of $3,885,000 in one-time revenues. Our next slide is our 2025 proposed budget appropriations categories totaling $86,136,446.92. You can see here salary and wages at $37,887,501. Other expenses at around 28 million, being about 33%. Our debt service is about 5.5 million or 6%. Statutory expenses at 12% or almost 10.5 million. Capital improvement fund at about $500,000 or 1%. Deferred charges, $1,881,875 or about 2%, and reserve for uncollected taxes at almost 1.7 million. Doug, next slide. This next slide is our proposed salaries and wages in total at $37,887,501. You can see our percentages here, our fire, our police, and our additional departments. Once again, our DPW salaries have been offset by $600,000 via grant funding. Doug, next slide. Salary and wage increases required by union contracts totaling $37,887,501. You can see under contract, we have 28%, under binding arbitration or public safety, 61%. And 11% is under our excluded employees and department heads. Doug, next slide. This slide just gives a listing of where we're currently at with our collective bargaining units. I will be setting up negotiations with our library. They are expiring December 31st, 2025. And then next year, I do have AFSCME and the DPW non-supervisors. Otherwise, everyone is currently within contract till 2028 or 2030. Doug, next slide. Our salary and wages summary and recommendations. This is for our police department. 2025 recommendations. Current table of organization provides 97 sworn officers with 94 current officers. We are rehiring a parking enforcement officer come the spring 2025, and 2 new hires for July 1. Next slide. This is the salary and wages summary for our fire department. Current table of organization provides 91 firefighters, current staffing of 87 firefighters, 4 retirements as of April 1st, and 4 recruits are currently in the academy. Next slide. Salary and wages summary and recommendations for our Department of Public Works, currently staffed for 55 positions. Acquisition of the Teaneck Community Pool will require at least 2 additional hires, and $600,000 in salary and wages is being offset by grant funding. Next slide. Salary and wages summary and recommendations for our Recreation Department. Recommendations are for 1 full-time seasonal pool operator, which is budgeted, not filling a second superintendent of a recreation position, and budgeted for a superintendent of recreation hire for April 1. Next slide. Salary and wages summary and recommendations for overtime. We do have a slight increase in our fire and DPW since we have been going over these annually. 20% increase for fire, raising them to 600,000 for overtime, and a 7.2 increase for our DPW, bringing them to 350,000. The police department will remain at 600,000. Next slide. This is our appropriations on other expenses chart totaling $28,034,556. This shows our group insurance for employees at 24%, our utilities at 29%, contributions to self-insurance fund 1.25 million, other insurance premiums also about 1.5 million, 6%. And department operating expenses at 37% or 10.5 million. Our utilities pie chart here is a total of 8,013,000. You can see here our Bergen County Utilities Authority at 69%, and a breakdown of all the other utilities on the pie chart shown. Next, what are our special emergency appropriations? Preparation of tax maps, revaluation, codification of ordinances, preparation of master plan, drainage maps and flood control, engineering planning of sanitary sewer system, municipal consolidation, severance liabilities or terminal leave, preparation of sanitary storms or storm system map, tax appeal refunds, appraisal systems to handle the 2025 appeals per contract. Our next slide is our deferred charges. Utilize special emergency for 2025 terminal leave, including terminal leave special emergencies 2020 to 2024, COVID-19 pandemic special emergency, and 2024 revaluation costs. Contributions to our self-insurance fund, an increase from 2024 appropriation based on our claims experience and our risk manager's recommendation of 150,000. Workers' comp and Title 59 tort claims coverage and proposed settlements to be funded from this line item, totaling 1.25 million. Other insurance premiums from our PE-GIF premium increase is 26,000. These coverages include our auto liability and collision, employment practices, public officials, our facilities with our new pool included, cybersecurity, general litigation, and claims. Our debt service totaling 5.5 million or 7%. Our highlights are our increased note principal at 29,000, increased in note interest 260,000, increased in bond principal 215,000, decrease in bond ordinance negative 45,194. Total line item increased $458,806 or 9.8% in our 2025 budget. Statutory expenditures, this is almost 10.5 million or 12%. Major adjustments, PFRS decreased $19,882. PERS increased $63,352. Social Security increased $54,500. And our total line item increased $97,970 or 0.94%. Capital Improvement Fund, our total cost for improvements, $12,740,000. Capital Improvement Fund at $567,000, 5% down payment less grant funding, which will be reviewed at our April 3rd meeting. This slide is our estimated revenue. This is a breakdown of all our revenue totaling $86,136,446.92. You can see the breakdown of our municipal and library levy, state revenue, local revenue, surplus, and delinquent taxes. Our next slide is our estimated local revenue. This is a total of $7,621,000. On here, you see our municipal revenues, our totaling 2,670,000 are fines and costs for municipal court, interest and costs on taxes, investments, sewer use charges, our hotel occupancy tax, licensing, our host community hospital, cable franchise fees. So this will outline all of our estimated local revenue. Next slide. This slide is our estimated state revenue, totaling 3,419,592. Energy receipts tax at 3,419,592, and our total revenue at 96%. Next slide. This is our budget wrap-up slide. Our appropriations always equaling our revenue. You will see that our appropriations total of $86,136,446.92, equaling our revenue of the same. Next slide. Our strategies, short and long term: sale and development of selected municipally owned property, upgrade of our police radio communications, health department accreditation, enhance ratables through business attraction and development, improve infrastructure to attract economic development, continued redevelopment township-wide, parking lot improvements, electric charging stations, infrastructure improvements to fire headquarters and fire station 2, pedestrian safety campaign. Next slide, Doug. Road resurfacing, municipal building basement renovation and library upgrades, parking renovations and park bathroom renovations in various locations, our consideration of a skate park, consideration of our new garden club, potential development American Legion Drive, a fee schedule reevaluation within our court, escrow, our building department, and our recreation department, continued work on our new DPW facility, additional field renovations, sewer and drainage upgrades, community policing programs, Teaneck community pool, code enforcement 6-month trial, which we just started on Teaneck Road, e-ticketing we just implemented for our health department, zoning, and code enforcement. Our upcoming budget meeting tentative schedule for Thursday, March 27th will include our police department, our fire department, our library, and our legal department. And we will go through their budgets and outline any items that have increased and the reasons for that within our budget, or any questions that need addressing. Our next meeting after that is Thursday, April 3rd. That will be a review of our recreation department, our DPW, our capital budget, and also the manager, council, and clerk budget. Our April 10th meeting will be determined based on how far we get with the first initial meetings and discussions. I'd now like to say thank you to the council for your support as we put together a very difficult budget. I also would like to say thank you to our auditor, Dan DeGanchi, who took all our phone calls and answered many questions for us. And most importantly, our CFO, Issa Abbasi, and Deputy CFO, Asisa Adewumi, who put in a lot of time and effort to help me get this budget as prepared as possible to present tonight, and to all of my department heads and assistant department heads who work with me every day to make sure we get the job done for the township residents. So thank you very much.
We actually adjourned and went home. So we can go to comments, or everyone can go home and think about it. My general question to the council is, where do we want to see this budget end up? Last year we had a conversation, we said 5% was an acceptable number. I'm also curious to see, and I don't think any towns released it, we've actually done this early this year. Sorry. We've actually done this early this year. What other towns are, where they're at? And then lastly, Mr. Manager, could you, if you may not have it on you, the deadlines, statutory deadlines for implementation? I know it's usually the X week after the last meeting. It's a whole formula. You may not know it offhand. I don't mean to.
No, it's okay. Issa, do you have those on in front of you? I know we had those on.
Essentially, Mayor, I think introduction was like April 8th, and then adoption would be in May. There's no penalty. We've done it in the past where you've gone beyond that. If you get into July, as we did last year, the state will send you a letter and say, hey, look, if you don't introduce by this date, then you're gonna start getting fined $25 a day. So there is time. At worst, you lose a question on that fall best practice checklist that we're always 9 questions over. So I would say let's not rush this. Let's do it right.
100%.
yeah.
I haven't heard, have you heard of other towns that have released their budgets yet?
I know my other neighboring municipality is coming in at 7.5%. We were actually scheduled to introduce on Monday, but it was tabled because we had a few more revisions to make. We are at 7.35 and most likely will end at 7.5. For reference, last year they were at 2.98. So this is just things we're seeing across the state. On my CFO group chat that we have via email, a lot of other municipalities are experiencing the same thing. Health benefits are up across the board. We are fortunate that we don't have to take on garbage in-house or out-house, that the residents privately contract, which is why the local finance board made that exception. We are fortunate for several things. Actually, because we transitioned last year before the manager retired back to state health benefits, that actually was a savings this year for us rather than having more money set aside for that and having an unknown weekly bill. But those are the towns I am aware of. I looked at other towns. I haven't seen, anyone really having anything up that quickly yet.
Understood. I mean, I know last year we actually delayed our meetings, so we started our meetings on time this year. And Leslie, what do you think is more interesting, the CFO chat or the clerk chat? What do you have to?
Definitely the CFO one. There's any time, and this happened back in January when the current president decided to freeze grant funding, my eyebrows raised really high because that affects us in every aspect. It can affect Bell Avenue for all I know. But thankfully that has a stay and that has been reversed. So finance changes, it's very fluid. This is why whenever we travel, I get the complaint of why do you have your laptops with you? And I said, you never know what can happen. And I'm always working on vacation like the manager.
Quick question for, I guess, I don't know, manager or CFO. Based on this number, what will next year's budget look like?
So we were in discussion with the auditor. Our goal was first to deliver this tonight as accurately and as low as possible. Once we meet with the committee, and that's what I'm interested to hear where everyone is at with their number, we will start formulating those percentages because without having really where the council wants to go, we can't really start to forecast it. So if you throw out some percentages of where the council would like to be at, we could start doing those models and meet with the committee in the near future and go over them.
Can't be unfortunate.
No. So on that note, I know that at our last meeting, we passed the resolution about the subcommittees meeting and scheduling 5 days out. And so far, I understand the transparency and I'm on board for a resolution that makes sense. I wasn't, but I am now. But we are missing a zoning subcommittee meeting tomorrow and an affordable housing meeting tomorrow because when we looked at our schedules and were able to plan them with the professionals, it wasn't 5 days out. And so I understand advertising as soon as we get them on our calendars, but to have to start canceling meetings and the work of the town in order to advertise in advance for the public, this is going to slow down work for the town. And if the clerk's office was to advertise for a budget subcommittee meeting tomorrow, they would not be able to meet until next Thursday, right before the meeting, if they're available. So I think there are kinks in the resolution that have to be worked out. I think also the time of the clerk and the manager weren't necessarily taken into account. If we're going to be posting a Zoom of the meeting online, I don't think we have to pay somebody to sit and take minutes. I don't think we have the money to spare this year. So I would ask my colleagues if we can rescind that resolution and then reintroduce another resolution, which I'm happy to work on. Maybe the 3 sets of eyes that were not part of the original discussion could sit down and look at it and take input. I would reintroduce it on April 8th. But for right now, to be saying because of a transparency resolution, the budget subcommittee can't meet before next Thursday. To me, at this time, it doesn't make sense. Adding additional overtime hours or hours for staff to me doesn't make sense. And the fact that I took tomorrow off to have a zoning subcommittee meeting, and we can't because it wasn't advertised, also doesn't help. And then when the planner said, wait, I'm free now, so let's do an affordable housing subcommittee meeting, and we couldn't do that either. We're actually stopping progress because of this. And I don't think that was the intent. I think there's a better way to do it. And I think right now it's critical that our budget subcommittee can meet before next week. So I spoke to the attorney. I would ask my colleagues if we can, I don't know what the language would be, but Scott, if you could help me out, I'd like to make a motion to walk it back and then rescind that resolution. And then if we could reintroduce on the 8th, something that makes a little more sense. Sometimes we get it right and sometimes we don't get it right, and it's okay to switch.
Doug, do you know the name of the or the number of the resolution from the last
Yeah, I
meeting?
just pulled it up. It's 113-2025.
So I guess it'd be the resolution that you're suggesting would be it'd be a resolution to essentially rescind that number resolution.
Yes, and I think, yeah, what you would be doing, Deputy Mayor, is a motion to rescind Resolution 113-2025. And I don't know that what this resolution number will be. I'll get back to you on that in just a minute. But yeah, we'll be rescinding this resolution.
If we could just have discussion about this for a moment. I would also take Deputy Mayor up on her recommendation to sit on the subcommittee to revise or to give input. Yeah, the task force. Yes, thank you for that. Yeah, the task force to really kind of add the types of things that, because truly, yes, it is slowing us down. You know, I mean, it's just a matter of looking at the calendar. It's not even a matter of transparency. It's a matter of looking at the calendars and looking at people that we have, or the professionals that work within our township, their availability, not just our availability, but the availability of those that we depend upon. So that's the only comment I would have.
Okay, who else comment? So I'm seconding that motion. If that,
To rescind Resolution 113-2025, it was a motion from Deputy Mayor Organ and a second from Mayor Schwartz. Councilwoman Goldberg,
Absolutely not.
Councilman Pagan,
No.
Councilwoman G.
Yes.
Can we put a timetable on that? Didn't we say that would be
April 8th. The next
April?
Yes.
meeting.
Okay, so April 8th would be the date that we would revisit this. And the only reason why we're rescinding it is because we're in budget season.
Correct.
And we have some real specific timelines to address.
well,
Is-
and this morning, what happened with the affordable?
And the
with
affordable housing
out next week.
requirements,
Yeah.
because we are under compliance dates that we have to make.
Mhm.
So given that, and given that we do have a specific time that we're revisiting this,
Mhm.
and Deputy Mayor Ogden will be sitting on that task force to give her input, I vote that we would, yes.
Can
move
you
forward.
can you guys just remind me that task force one more time?
I don't know who the third would be. So far, it's the two of us. Can we have
Well,
a
it
fifth?
was, I can tell you, it was
Okay.
myself, Councilwoman
we have
Goldberg,
staff.
and yes.
No, but maybe a fresh set of eyes also was what I was thinking.
Okay, whatever you guys would like to do, I will step back and let someone else serve on
No,
that
no,
task force.
I'm happy to have you. I just wanted a third person also.
Okay, I can do it.
Okay.
Back to the roll call, if you don't mind.
Yeah, absolutely. Rescinding Resolution 113,
Until.
revisiting on April 8th, establishing this task force to meet and discuss about it. DM Morgan, DM Belcher, CWG. It was a motion from Deputy Mayor Organ and a second from Mayor Schwartz. The roll call was Councilwoman Goldberg with a no, Councilman Pagan with a no, Councilwoman G with a yes. Councilman Katz isn't here, so we're at Deputy Mayor Belcher.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Organ,
Yes.
Mayor Schwartz.
Yes.
Rescinded And the matter will be back on the.
And just one more thing, if we could get input from the clerk and the manager, let us know what works, what doesn't work. It'll make it easier also.
So Attorney, we can go ahead and schedule that affordable housing situation. And we can also schedule a budget meeting as well.
Excuse me, Mr. Mayor, that affordable housing, is there a timeline, a date for that? That we're giving, we're responding to DCA. Do you remember what that date is?
I don't remember the
Ma'am?
exact date. I'll ask Golda, but I know if we should definitely have it soon. I know it's
Sooner
coming
than
up.
later.
So yeah,
Okay.
so
I
think
would
it's
ask that
probably-
if the affordable housing meeting is being scheduled, that be scheduled before, if we're doing one imminently, that would be done before, I think, Tuesday.
I don't really understand. Are you saying, can you go back to that email string and start it up again if you don't mind, if you're in front of a computer?
I can do that, not a problem.
Sorry, we don't have a computer in front of us. Okay. Excellent. Okay. Okay. Budget, then I guess the next step would be a budget subcommittee meeting. And I believe that is Councilwoman Goldberg and Councilwoman G and myself. Is that the committee? Is that what you did ask for, Mr. CFO? That is what you said in committee, correct?
Yes.
Yes, okay.
Schwartz, Goldberg, G, alternate Melcher.
Okay, so Mr. CFO, while we're all here, why don't you start the opening bid? With times, dates. Figure we'll spare 45 emails and just do it right now.
Yeah, I mean, I'll check in with the auditor, but either Tuesday or Wednesday morning. Does that work for anybody? Possibly even Thursday?
They all, Tuesday, Wednesday work great for me. What about it? 9 a.m. Tuesday? Councilwoman Goldberg?
I am not going to be able to make it. I'm going to have to defer to Deputy Mayor Belcher.
I can sit in Wednesday if you want.
Wednesday, 9 o'clock? That's good. Okay, Wednesday, 9 o'clock.
I would like to formally quit the budget subcommittee in light of the transparency rescind. Thank you.
Okay.
I'll take it.
Excellent. Wednesday, 9 o'clock, you'll check with auditor?
Yes, I'm checking out. Do we have any scenarios that you want us to prepare in advance for that? Or do we want to just have a discussion and see where we're at?
I think we could have a discussion to see where we're at, jump right into the deep end at 9:01. But yeah, I
Okay.
mean, the real answer is, I'm gonna take this, say, yes, what does 6% look like? I'll answer.
Okay.
What does 6% look
6 or 6.99?
in that range?
Okay,
6 to 7.
okay.
5.99 to 6.99 housing.
We could do that.
Exactly. Any other comments?
Can you also just share what other, if you have data on what other towns you're estimating?
Yeah, I can reach out to some colleagues and see where they're at.
I just have a couple of questions, Mr. CFO.
Yes.
Is there, I know I haven't gone through the manual that we got to receive tonight, but I wanted to talk about little projections and kind of what if scenarios. Like we heard from our building department, a recommendation to the council to consider pretty much charging certificate of occupancies for sellers upon the sale of properties. What would, if we could look at projections in terms of fees, where is the low hanging fruit that we can look at that can potentially impact our budget going forward? Is that some type of a discussion that you perhaps could have with the subcommittee?
Yes, so when, and again, you're not on the subcommittee, but what we show is a spreadsheet that the auditor and myself come up with where we actually do simulate, and you saw how we were within 0.25% this year. That was just fortune. I mean, a lot of things oscillate throughout the year, but we do, as Mayor Schwartz knows, we do show, hey, look, if this project comes online as a rateable, this is what we could look at. We do also try to forecast our expenditures. There are unknowns, the BCUA bill being one of the largest ones, along with health insurance, any other insurance premiums. But for the most part, there are a lot of things we can forecast, debt service. So yes, we will take into consideration revenues. Of course, though, as you all know, you can only forecast based on what you have in cash in the prior year on 12/31. It's already past the middle of March, so we would basically prorate that, let's say, for maybe half a year and show you what that would look like. There are a lot of scenarios we could play with, but that's a good starting point from there for a few scenarios we can prepare for Wednesday.
And I'll send you an email with a few other things, so not to take everyone's time right now, some thoughts I wrote down for this meeting.
Sure.
I'll email you so we can be prepared and not, hit you up on the spot.
Yes, not a problem.
I'll CC the committee so they know we're discussing. Okay, anybody else? Okay, that, make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Um,